Hello, everybody. Thank you for attending our today NEOOPS and Blue Prism community event. Let me give a word to Managing Director of NEOOPS, Jan Rapala, who will introduce this event. Jan, it's all yours.
Thank you, Zdeněk. Good morning. Welcome everybody on our NEOOPS and Blue Prism community event, which we try to do on a regular basis to update you on the news in our industry. And as always, we have a number of great speakers. So today, these are our client, Jakub Jurovec from Komerční banka, Michael Schechter from Blue Prism, and my colleagues from NEOOPS, who will be presenting interesting topics in our industry, Blue Prism, and other interesting tools. We try to squeeze everything into 2 hours, but if we don't manage to cover everything in detail level, you can always contact us directly and we can make separate sessions just for you. Thank you for joining our webinar and have a great day. And now we can start, and Zdeněk will introduce agenda and we will start.
Thank you, Jan, for the introduction. So let's go to, before we jump to presentations, I would just let you inform about how to navigate through GoToWebinar platform so that you are familiar what you are going to work with. So there is a navigation panel which can be minimized with the arrow in here. On start, you are muted. All attendants are muted because we will need to have smooth presentations, but you are free to ask questions in your question bar here anytime during the presentation, and we will try to answer all the questions. If there is no time during this workshop, then we will send after the workshop PDF with all the questions answered. And if you are interested in what's in agenda, you can click on this PDF and you will see what's ahead of us. So that was very quickly about the tool. And here is our agenda. So as the first one, as Jan mentioned, there will be our customer story, a real story from NEOOPS Client. Then from the next topic will be Outlook for Blue Prism in 2020. And after that, we will follow with Blue Prism Ecosystem and tools presentation. So you will hear about RPA Supervisor, Blue Prism Decipher, CloudTrade solution, and Trust Portal and XEELO. And as Jan already mentioned, we have some speakers today. So here you can see the faces because we cannot meet personally. So before me, it was Jan Rapala talking. My name is Zdeněk Kabátek. I will be moderating today's workshop. So after me, Jakub Jurovec will be talking, then Michael Schechter from Blue Prism Germany. And then 3 of our consultants will be covering the topics about Blue Prism ecosystem. So thank you very much. And now I would hand over to Kuba Jurovec, and I will give him the control over the screen so that he can lead his presentation. So Kuba, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Zdeněk. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jakub Jurovec, and I am from Komerční banka. Komerční banka is one of the Czech biggest bank, member of Societe Generale Group, and I would like to share our experience with Trust Portal today with you. Just a second, how to move the slides. Yeah, it's working. In the beginning, I would like to share what's automation and how automation works in KB. In KB, we have team around, it's now, this presentation is 1 month old, so now we have 13 members in our team. Team is centralized, all competency related to automation is concentrated in one team. This team handles all duties from infrastructure, business analysis, and all the stuff related to automations. And we even do the second user level support, and we have a lot of users, you will see later. At this moment, we automatized about 20 backend processes, and we have 5 front-end processes where we are using Transportal. We are organized in a full agile team. We use a Spotify model, and we run in DevOps mode. This is typical for whole organization and all our team, which are focused in development in bank, run in this mode. In this team, I am responsible how we do RPA in KB. I am a technical architect, and I am the enterprise system chapter lead, which I am responsible how we do enterprise systems in KB. Then there is a second important person in our team. It's our product owner, which is responsible for priorities. But Pavel Tužil is not with us today. This is our short history of RPA in KB. Let's say short, it's about 4 years long. We started in 2016 with ideas how to implement RPA in KB. Actually, the first real implementation started in 2017. The first processes in production runs from March 2018. So it's almost 2 years of full production run. Later in 2018, we start to think how to extend possibility how to automatize processes in KB, and we came with front-end automatization. We wanted to deliver some automatization to our front office employees, which are in branches and are dealing with old systems, and we wanted to help them. We started to think how to do that, and at the end of the 2018, we were on this community event in the NEOOPS, and it was the first time we saw the Transportal. So we had a lot of ideas, and later in 2018, we started, let's say, some internal evaluation of possibilities. We ran the request for proposal, and we selected Blue Prism and Transportal as a platform which we want to use for front-end automation. Implementation of Transportal started in February last year, and the first pilot phase runs from September. At this moment, we are fully rolled out with 5 processes, and currently we have 3,000 plus users which are using our front-end automation. So this is the brief timeline of our, let's say, front office RPA. So why we choose Transportal? When we were deciding what tool to use for front office automation, we were discussing a lot of topics and which tool can help us. We were focusing on faster processing of the process. We were focusing on simplification of cell processes. We wanted to free hands for our front office users to have some time to make a better relationship with client, or sell more products. And of course, we need a product which is easy to use from the perspective of the end user. There were some technical, let's say, technical topics. One of them was the speed of implementation, security, because we are the bank, so we have a very strong focus on security, and of course the solution has to have a positive business case. So when we estimate all these aspects, we choose the Blue Prism and Transportal solution. We don't use a cloud solution. All these tools runs in our premises, in our data centers, mainly from security reasons. And the next reasons for the selection of this tool was that Transportal has a really simple user interface. We could reuse partially our infrastructure, servers, because the half of the infrastructure is same as for Blue Prism. The main reason why we choose the Transportal was the security. We had one issue that we need to solve because we were choosing between unattended and attended automation. And when we were forced to ensure that we can identify what did the robot and what did the human, we needed to move all the automations to the back office, and now we are able to do that because through the Transportal the user can run some task, and there is exact split between what did the user in the bank systems and what did the robot, because robots works in background on dedicated machines with dedicated technical users, etc. The next reason why we choose a Transportal was that we don't need to train the developers for the new technology. You design the forms in the Blue Prism. So if the developers know the Blue Prism, they are able to develop the forms in Transportal. Of course, they need to know how to do that, but they don't need to learn next language or programming language or something like that. And the next significant reason why we choose the Transportal was that it uses Blue Prism licenses. So we are able to share the licenses between our back office and front office processes. So when the peak, we have peak during the day when the branches are open, but before in the early morning and or later in the evening, we can use the licenses for Transportal solution with Blue Prism. So that was the reason. What we implemented? We implemented two kinds of processes. One of them was a business cards process. This was simple process for ordering the business cards. This process is intended to allow the users or any employee in the bank to order their own paper business card. They enter in the Transportal, select, prefill the data, what will be on the card. Then the Transportal calls some external APIs with our business cards vendor. Graphical design is created during this phase, and the user accepts this graphical design, modifies it, and then sends data to printing company. There is some parts of internal approval flow, and this is all integrated in this process. This process we dedicated in our bank like some kind of training process. The users or our developers trained on it, and at the beginning we were focusing on this process like on training one, but not accidentally, but it was intended from the beginning. This process had a nice business case too. This business case came with that this process has been designed from the scratch. We didn't implement the old process and just not to move it to the new technologies, but we rethink all the process from the beginning till end, and we were able to lower the cost of one paper business card because the new vendor had no integrated systems. So it's
sorry to jump into it, but you have like last 5 minutes.
Okay, so sorry, I will try to speed it up. So this vendor was much cheaper than the old one, so we migrated to cheaper vendor, but we had to implement some robots that are able to handle their systems. The return on investment on this process was only in 6 months, so it's quite good. The second process, and this is a flagship of in our bank, is account opening process. I will ask Zdeněk to run a video. You will see how it looks from the front office user.
You can stop it, Kubo, if you need it.
I will run it. It's 2 minutes, so I will speak with it. There is only music. There is no other sound. Maybe you can't hear the music. This is our learning video, which is we train the user and users. You will see the form. This form is quite simple. There is around 8 input fields, and it's only 8 fields that you need to open account for a new client. There are no contact addresses. They are handled in separate process, but in this process they are able to open account in, let's say, 10 clicks. The biggest advantage is that the end user has then about 20 minutes to make some deals with client. In old-fashioned process, in old systems, the opening of account took around 20 minutes of clicking to many screens. All that work is now done by robot. So you can see that's what you saw is everything the end user has to do now instead of 20 minutes of clicking. So there is a huge gain of time for end user. We weren't able to speed it up much, but we now the user has free hands. Maybe you will see later how in the other presentations how Transporter works, but you fill one form and then you will get a response from the robot. The user is receiving progress of the work during the time. Here it is a little bit speed up, but in the real it takes about 15 minutes to get all the updates, and you can see here that the user is getting answers like account is ready, credit card, debit card is ready, internet banking is open for the client, etc. So it's this process is our flagship, and currently we were a little bit impacted by COVID because a lot of our branches were closed and in a minimal operation. So it is starting again now, and we hope it will take us many new accounts every day. We had about 2,000 users for this process. What we learned that the Transportal is too modern for our bank. we were facing a lot of issues with our infrastructure because Transportal is on the state-of-the-art technologies, and we weren't ready to adopt them so quickly and early. So it was our local IT problem. When we started with Transportal 1 year ago, that product was a little bit unstable. Now it's much stable, and we had a lot of early adopters problems, and now it's much better. You can, if you are an early adopter, you can shape the product. So we ask Transportal to implement some features that are nice to have in your product, and they did it up for us. The one nice big issue is end user training. When you roll out your RPA to thousands of end users, you need to build end user support. So it was one issue we were facing. And now we have a helpline where all the users can call and they will help them with the transportal interface or with the business problem. So when you will go from the back office where you have only few users or few clients to front office count that you will need to prepare for larger scale user support. And maybe that's all I would like to share with you, because I have no more time. And maybe one last sentence, that the rest of the problems were the same as any kind of automation you do in RPA. So maybe if you have some more some questions, send them to the chat, and we will answer them later.
Thank you very much, Kuba. Thank you very much once again. As Kuba reminded you, you can write your questions in the toolbar in the question section, and we will answer them. If not today, then definitely by end of this week we will compile all the questions and answer them. So thank you, Kuba, and I would give the stage to Michael Schechter, who will be talking about Blue Prism outlook for 2020. So Michael, it's all yours.
Thank you, Zdeněk. Good morning from me, from sunny Munich. My name is Michael Schechter. I'm partner solution consultant by Blue Prism since February 2018, so more than 2 years. That's pretty long in Blue Prism years. We are a very dynamic organization, growing very fast. And today I would like to give you an overview about what's coming next in 2020 and afterwards. Zdeněk, I still don't have control, I believe, to...
You should, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we are talking about connected RPA, and for already a long time we are giving our customers freedom of choice what to do. Some of our customers prefer to run our automation platform on premise. Other customers are preferring to go for cloud option, and there are more and more customers thinking about moving to the cloud next, and there are a lot of different possibilities how to use the platform, and we are always trying to offer completely freedom of choice to our customers how to drive the automation agenda. And it's also about to stay connected. What does it mean? Not really matter which application you are trying to automate or which technology you are trying to involve in the process. It should be really easy for you as a business users to click the process more or less together and create automation without big involvement of IT. Especially if we talk about end-to-end processes, 92% of processes require at some point human interaction. We are not talking about just 100% automation and some of the process executed by digital workers and some by human workers, but also about collaboration. Collaboration of human and digital worker is extremely important. And by previous slot, you was already listening to experience of Komerčna banka with Trust Portal. That's one way on how to create this collaboration between human and digital worker. It's not always about just back office automation. It's automation could be used everywhere and also in front office. And there are also different ways how to allow this collaboration. One of the choices is, for example, Trust Portal, what was presented just before my slot. But we have also another options. For example, with Interact. Interact is coming from acquisition from last year, where we decided to acquire company Autonomy that built their own managed service offering on top of Blue Prism platform in Azure and with some additional component, and one of them is Interact. But we are also working about another scenarios how to support this human and digital collaboration. So I already told about this acquisition of Autonomy. It was rebranded in the meantime to Blue Prism Cloud offering. But if you think about what components available in with the classic platform, it's it's about ROM, it's about process discovery offering, Decipher, data gateways, and there are some new components coming from Autonomy acquisition, this Blue Prism Cloud offering. That's IADA for intelligent orchestration, Interact for this human in the loop scenarios or human and digital collaboration, Hub, Wireframer, and what we are trying to achieve, we are trying to offer components that's available from Blue Prism Cloud offering also for our on-premise customers, and push additional components from classic Blue Prism platform also for our Autonomy customers. In generally, if we talk about where we're going, it's kind of 5D strategy. So let me try to describe what I'm talking about here. So the first is D is discover. It's about how to identify the new processes for automation, how to find out which process is good for automation, which is not so good, and do all the work in the front of automation before you start, more or less, to provide enough pipeline for automation. But it's also about to find out, okay, what our users are doing, for example. So create more or less documentation of the process, just following the user, what they are doing, and automatically create some kind of PDD of the process already automatic way. And then the second D is describe how to automate existing process. It's could be possible, for example, to take this PDD created in the previous step and automatically create some automation with help of Studio or with this automated way. The third D is deliver. It's about the runtime, ability to run the robots on premise, in cloud, whatever you want, and also to schedule the robots, not just a simple way, but maybe also more intelligent way, where you don't really need to take care about how to schedule the processes from time perspective, but just define the SLAs and priorities of the process, and platform will decide itself how to run automation for you to achieve the best possible results. The fourth D is Decipher. Decipher is a tool that's starting the role of new tools by Blue Prism, developed by our innovation labs. And that's in the first stage going to be intelligent document processing capabilities. And the last D is digital exchange. Since version 6.4, we launched the first time digital exchange platform that give more and more abilities to business users to easily integrate with another technologies, with another applications, and also to get more value from the enterprise automation platform Blue Prism. So what I would like to cover a little bit before I'm going to the real features and functions that you can expect in the next version, I would like to talk a little bit about some announcement or what we could do in the last months. Blue Prism Cloud acquisition, as I already told, there are some additional components like IADA for intelligent scheduling, Cloud Hub for a web interface for the platform, and some additional capabilities in handling the platform, and Interact for the human in the loop scenarios. Few months ago, we launched the new product Service Assist. What is this product about? That's about supporting customer service center or call centers to increase the customer service productivity. This product is built on integration between Blue Prism and Trust Portal, and provides really high value, especially in the area of call center service centers. The idea of the product was born by the project by Telefónica in Spain, where the huge call center with more than 2,000 agents was automated with help of this solution. And they could achieve decreasing of average call time. That's one of the main characteristics of the call center, from 9 to 2 minutes. In just 12 months, it was achieved cost reduction by 25%, and the goal is to achieve another 25% in the second year of usage. And this solution is really providing the very big value for call centers. By the way, NEOOPS is a certified reseller of this product as well, one of just very few number of partners who is able to sell this product at the moment on the market. Another announcement I would like to do is Decipher. We announced Decipher already by Blue Prism last year, but the first version coming live on June 23 by the Blue Prism World this year. And this product is going to provide intelligent document processing capabilities to our platform. The first version is focused on or pre-trained on topic invoices, providing to you invoicing reading capabilities to your platform immediately out of the box. But it's also possible to train the product for the new types of documents. I believe just after my slot, it will be also covered in more details, also Decipher topic. And now I would like to talk about the roadmap. So we decided at some point that we are going to provide more overview about our roadmap to our customers on a regular basis. And you can access our roadmap already from our Blue Prism portal. If you go in the product menu, then you see the roadmap link, and clicking there, you are getting to access our roadmap in details. And we are going to update our roadmap quarterly. So the last update was done in February. We're expecting the new version of Blue Prism coming out next week. So it will be also updated in the roadmap, posted to the portal, what you can access. Then it's going to be August and November. And if you think about which area we are going to cover in this roadmap, there are all these things where we're working about. That's about the platform self, about digital exchange, cloud offering, but also what our innovation labs are delivering. especially if you talk about May, that's a release that's going to be live next week. There are some interesting new options available for you. And first of all, it's about enhancement platform single sign-on options. So it's additional Active Directory single sign-on model, and user role management provides ability to manage users across multiple domain forests. Administrator can convert an existing single sign-on installation to multi-authentication, mapping roles to user based on the Active Directory membership. So it's also about we are going to provide support for Microsoft Edge Chromium starting from version 6.8. It will be possible also to use this plugin for the version 6.5 till 6.7. So you don't need necessarily to migrate to 6.8 immediately to get support for Microsoft Edge. We have done some work about usability of the platform. So we added filter and search for Studio to search for specific processes and objects, especially if the number of objects is growing. That's would be in some situation not really comfortable to search, and that's why this improvement here. Stage property window have been made non-modal, meaning it's now possible to have several windows open at once while still being able to interact with Studio Canvas. That's also something that was really disturbing in some specific situation. We added support for C#7.NET Visual Basic version 16, and we changed also the zoom level of Studio. It's now scale stage text properly. I don't know what's about you. For me personally, it was a really disturbing factor where you're trying to zoom in and everything getting larger, but the text is remain the same size. So we have some changes also in data gateways. So data gateways is now available for use with databases exclusively secured using Windows authentication. It's possible now to define the user which will be used to run this activity. We added also support for German language. That's also new, but continuing this journey in translation the product to additional languages. Also additional calendar for public holidays was added there. There are some more enhancements, for example, several improvements in Outlook VBO to support multiple email accounts, ability to save any attachment from email to any location, and so on and so far. Moving forwards,
let me remind you that we have last 5 minutes. Okay.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Thank you. So also in Digital Exchange, we have some improvements. Since version 6.7, Digital Exchange is integrated in the interface of platform. So you can access directly from Blue Prism application, Digital Exchange. And we also improving our Digital Exchange handling. So it's easier to see how a Technology Alliance program organized, and also it's added some e-commerce. So Salesforce SKU can be generated with push and pull quotas for customer data. Our innovation center is working also on a topic with ERP transformation. And especially we are going to provide also through Digital Exchange some additional assets, for example, T codes for SIP to have better experience with automation of SIP. Moving to Decipher, Decipher is going to be initial release, like I said before, in June 23. That will be official launch of Decipher. And Also in process discovery, that's one of our key priorities. We are going to improve time to value tooling to accelerate ROI. We are going to provide more flexible and secure user management for governance, and also adding some process management capabilities and internationalization also in terms of language interface going to be supported: Japanese, Chinese, French, in German in process discovery tool. Process discovery tool is, by the way, also available through our portal. So moving to August, we are planning to have changes in our license management. It will be possible to share license keys between different environments to maximize utilization. We are also going to improve our capabilities in terms of language interface, so support for Spanish is going to be provided. And in area how we work together with new components delivered by the autonomy, hub and interact components are going to be available also on premise. At the moment, it's possible to connect to on-premise installation hub and interact, but they're running in the cloud. But in August, it will be possible to have these components completely on-premise as well. So moving to the digital exchange, we are talking about enterprise digital exchange. That will be more or less private version of digital exchange for the customers, and we are going to improve abilities here. So integration with Git via API will be available, and also we are providing some new digital exchange developer tools and documentation to leverage import and export of new assets to digital exchange. Our innovation center continue to work on topic SIP automation, providing some additional demo scenario and digital infrastructure specialist demos. In Decipher, the first version will be with support of invoicing, but we are going to build and provide in the future also new form definitions to automatically recognize more and more different document types. We are going to provide more audit monitoring, and also UI is going to be provided in more languages. Talking to November, there are no big changes planned in terms of functionality. There are some changes in license management, providing new reporting capabilities, but that will be more about service pack and performance improvement, this release. In cloud, we are planning to increase or to improve wireframe to generate the process automations via wireframe from process definition, what I was talking before. So automatic generation of the process from the PDD. But it's also about handling, so new and improving user interface by hub, health monitor, and for interact, it will be also notification center to provide more or better experience in human in the loop scenarios. About digital exchange, so it will be supported to have export and import easily in private or enterprise digital exchange different assets, but also to get notification about some specific assets where you're interested about new versions and so on and so forth. In Decipher area, we are going to provide new machine learning models, downloadable, and also Decipher is going to be like a box where you can plug in additional external services, for example, ICR and some third-party technologies, and that's going to provide a more value for our customers. And moving to the future, what's coming after November. So just to give you a brief idea, we are going to provide new web and mobile user interface for controlling the platform. We are working also on support for additional cloud-based deployment models, expand our API framework, orchestration and control at scale to simplify development model and reduce communication overhead. And we're also working on internalization and support for more languages for user interface. So coming next, Portuguese and Russian as well. And in cloud area, we are going to improve our hub, adding natural language understanding capabilities there, adding additional integration to digital exchange and so on and so far. About digital exchange, that's also a really important part of our portfolio. It's about additional tools to build assets for digital exchange and also provide more control in enterprise area how to handle different assets. And our innovation center are working on SAP Leonardo AI integration and AI labs providing more interesting assets in the area of computer vision and AI in the future. Decipher going to be a multi-product project. So at the moment it's Decipher IDP in so intelligent document processing, but we are also going to provide additional products on this under Decipher umbrella to cover additional skills like natural language processing and so on. Decipher is going to be available also in the cloud. So that's all from my side. Sorry, it took a little bit longer than expected, but that was my last slide.
Thank you, Michael. And we are running short of time, so I'm sorry to just cut you off. But once again, thank you, Michael, for the presentation about the outlook, what's ahead of us and our clients for Blue Prism in 2020. And we are coming to the next section, which is Blue Prism Ecosystem. And we will be introducing those 5 tools which you can use together with Blue Prism. So because we are a bit behind the schedule, so if you can guys to be as quick and as sticking to agenda as possible, that would be welcome. So the first presenter will be Martin Prokesh, who will be talking about Transporter. So Martin, welcome on the stage, and you should be in control now.
Thank you, Zdeněk. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the presentation about Transporter. My name is Martin Prokesh, and I've been working in NEOOPS since 2016 as a Blue Prism consultant and developer. During that long journey, we were automating many processes for our clients, and almost all of them were back office ones. We quite often hear from our clients that it is difficult for them to select new processes for automation because there is often human intervention need, and therefore these processes are not suitable for RPA. Transporter is a powerful tool which allows communication between humans and robots with use of unified web interface, and which significantly extends the range of processes that can be automated. Because we have already seen from Jakub Jurovec how Komerční banka has Transporter successfully implemented, instead of long theory, I will show you a demo where you can see Transporter in action. First, let me give you some background information on the demo. We are simulating here a call between client and operator in an outsourced service center of 3 insurance companies. There is a simple web form that the operator can see. This operator fills in some process details and presses a button. A robot then takes over this data, does its job, and sends a message about progress to the Transporter front end. One note here, we are using only dummy data, and all the insurance companies are randomly selected. Transportal web interface consists of tiles, forms, and buttons, and this is the way how the communication between human and robot is made. The operator can choose either new record or update record tile. If it is more convenient for him, he can also select tile of a specific insurance company. Each tile on the screen represents a process that is triggered after clicking a button. There is a Blue Prism process running on background with a loop that checks inputs from Transportal web interface, and once a button is pressed, new item is created in a queue. Then this item is taken over by the robot, as we are used to, and an information about progress is sent back to the operator through Transportal interface. In the video, you will see creation of a new record in real time when operator talks to customer. In the process, there is involved also web-based CRM and Excel database where data about all clients from all insurance companies is stored. Now let's see the human and robot cooperation on a simple example. Customer is calling to the service center. Operator fills in the form based on what customer wants from him, and the customer wants to create a new record in AXA insurance company. Now in the background, the form for operator is dynamically generated based on what company was selected, and the operator is filling in all the data, how he gets it from the customer. Once the details are filled in the form, operator presses a button, and actually after pressing this button, the work of the operator is finished as he handed over the job to the robot. The message is generated, and now the automated process is started, and the details about client is recorded to the CRM system. Once this task is done, it takes a few seconds, the message will be generated, and the operator can see it in the messages section on the top. And once he clicks on the message, he can see also the details about the robot's progress. On the following example, you can see the example how an attempt of creation of new record, but this record, this national ID is already recorded in the CRM. So after pressing confirm button on background, robot finds out that this record is already in place and sends a message again about the progress to the operator. So that was how the communication between operator and or user and robot is made. And now let me summarize the main features and benefits of Transportal. In the past, robots could be started only from control room by people with appropriate rights. With Transportal, you can trigger process even with your mobile via a simple interface. People can help robots where there is a poor data, judgment need, or unexpected errors. And collaboration between human and robot gives us new opportunity to extend the automation scope. Instead of having significant ratio of exceptions, the process can be finished by the robot with human help. And this is exactly what we could see in the presentation of Jakub from Komerční banka. This leads to higher return from your RPA investment, and you can start designing tiles and forms with your current Blue Prism knowledge.
Okay, thank you, Martin, for the very insightful presentation. And just for the audience, guys, if you would like to hear more about Trust Portal, you can ask us and we can do more technical oriented presentation for you. Just agree a time slot and we are happy to do it for you. Okay, thank you once again, Martin, and let me welcome on the stage Standa Koberle, who will be presenting CloudTrade technology. So Standa, the stage is yours, and you should have keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, thank you, Zdeněk. So once again, my name is Stanislav Koberle. I'm a colleague of Zdeněk and Martin, and I work for NEOOPS. And I'm going to tell you something about CloudTrade service, which is kind of software that works very well in integration with Blue Prism as well. So this aim of this software, of this CloudTrade service, is to provide you a smart, complex way for electronic data capturing. Yeah. You probably know the situations from your company that you are overwhelmed with multiple incoming invoices on orders that has to be processed, and this service helps you to do that with another integration further, probably with RPA, because it's you should already have. Yeah. It's easy to define layouts and it's easy to implement. So this is why we will be talking about this one particular software. So let's start with the motivation for the CloudTrade. You might know the story from your company that someone from business comes to you and asks you whether you would be able to help them automate their routine task, very boring, inefficient task for retyping the incoming orders or invoices. Yeah, it might look like a very simple task for automation because usually they already have their PDFs, their incoming documents in PDFs format, which contains the data layer. So they are able to copy paste the data from the document anywhere they need to. And they probably have multiple most important vendors who are providing like 60% or maybe 80% of incoming invoices, and there is just a few of them, of those major vendors, and the rest of the vendors could be done manually. So this possibly a simple task, if you will ask someone from your Blue Prism development team, is still something like one man-day per each layout. So it's not so big, but considering that those vendors could be like 10, maybe 15 of them, so we are now in quite high numbers, yeah, quite high figures. So it would be nice to have a chance how to reduce this effort to map and extract data from those documents. And this is why we came to CloudTrade, because in CloudTrade you should be able to define the entire capture scheme like within 20 minutes. Yeah, it's a big difference between one man day and tens of minutes. What's CloudTrade? As I mentioned, the situation is currently on the market that you and the other companies are receiving the input documents like the invoices, orders, and so on in an electronic form, which is usually something like PDF, Word, or maybe XML format. And those documents are usually generated from the systems of the originator, from the vendor, or from the company who is sending you the invoice or the order to you. Yeah, so they've generated this from a system, so it's electronic document with, and what's important, with a electronic data layer behind the visual one, the visual layer. So that's the reason why you are able to copy paste data from it. And a portion of such documents is still growing. We might be at almost 90% of such documents in comparison to any other type of PDFs, because there are still some portion of scanned documents. Someone prints the document from their system and then they scan it and send it to you, but usually they are sending it directly from the system. So once you have this electronic document with the electronic machine readable data layer behind it, you just need to define the rules. Yeah. And CloudTrade is a tool where you are able to define those rules very quickly, smoothly, and within a few minutes. Yeah. So it's important to know that you still have to define those extraction rules. It's not an AI tool which would prepare those rules for you. You still need to do your involvement there, but the effort of your effort is very reduced using this tool. So in comparison to the old-fashioned way, where your vendor or someone is providing you the documents, sends the document through the very difficult journey through printing, mailing, sorting, posting, and those necessary steps. The new way of doing those things through CloudTrade involves just sending an email with the PDF or any format like XML or Microsoft Word document attachment. So we will send this email to a CloudTrade service. This CloudTrade, according to the rules you've provided before, do the recognition and provides you an email back with a structured output where you have all the data in a previously defined way you need to have them. So you can pass the usually XML output that CloudTrade provides to you. So you can pass this output directly to any other integrated software. Usually it's the RPA's robot who takes this predefined XML and processes further. But of course, any other integration is also possible. But we have the experience that with RPA you have almost unlimited options what to do. So just to summarize, what's the benefits of CloudTrade and why you should use it? It's a software it's a machine way of recognition, machine way of capturing the data. So you will have 100% of accuracy in comparison to humans who will be retyping the documents. Yeah. So many of formats are supported. It's really easy to implement this software because it's a service and you just need to send an email and define a few rules before you start using this service. So high supplier adoption, of course, because they don't need to change anything. They are already generating the PDFs with the data layer behind, so pretty much nothing changes to them. And as I mentioned, it's pretty easy, just a matter of tens of minutes to define the rules. So it's really easy and fast to implement everything. Yeah. So this is the summary, and considering that in a short time we will have another CloudTrade event, so I would like to invite you to the upcoming webinar which will take place at Wednesday, June 10th at 11 a.m. To 12 p.m. And the topic is a robot doesn't make mistakes, but data does. Yeah. So if you are interested more in the CloudTrade or the connected services, just email us and reserve your seats on this webinar. So we are looking forward to see you there.
Thank you, Standa, for information you provided about CloudTrade, which is cloud-based service to extract data from digital documents. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to write it in your question section, and we will answer it as at the moment when we can. Thank you once again, Standa, and I would invite to the stage Tomáš, who will be talking about XEELO, which is a workflow tool. So, Tomáš, I am giving you the control over the presentation, and it's all yours.
Thanks. Okay, so yeah, great. So hi, my name is Tomáš Štěpánek, and I want to show you a workflow tool which is called XEELO. Using XEELO, you can configure most complex processes without any programming knowledge. Every company wants to get rid of so-called hidden workflow processes, which can be represented by emails, Excels, even papers, and so on. With this kind of approach, things are never fully under control. With XEELO, you can get rid of all of this and put this on one place. You can also access this application via mobile app or approve requests by email, for example. I will get to that. Also, why am I presenting this at all? Not only because that is an interesting tool as a standalone application, but also you can easily integrate it with Blue Prism. So Blue Prism robot can be part of your workflow as well. So there are really various areas where XEELO can be implemented. In this slide, there are some of them enlisted just to demonstrate examples of XEELO usage. So for example, like in IT, in HR, or whatever you want. When you turn on XEELO, you can see all tasks in one place if you have rights to them. So as you can see on the TV monitor, the PC monitor, every highlighted bar there is separate, for example, departments in your company like HR, finance, or so. And after this particular color highlighted bar, there is another, let's say, object that is the particular process you can configure. Also, if you click on this object, there are tasks enlisted, and every task can have its own priorities, so you can do whatever you think is best to do at the particular time. So in today's world, almost everything we can handle from our mobile phones. Think about the situation when you sit on some meeting and your colleague wants to approve something as soon as possible for some reason. With XEELO, you can simply get a notification to your phone, and with a few clicks, you're done. It can be used for approvals or even for some processes where you have to provide information like photos, even GPS coordinates, or you can read barcodes, for example. Also, you can configure XEELO for sending notifications when somebody finishes task and it needs to be approved. So you will receive an email. You don't have to go to the application, to the XEELO for approval, and you can directly manage it from your mailbox. This is the best benefit of XEELO is the all XEELO configuration is zero code. Even most complex processes you can handle without any programming. As you can see on the picture on the right side, you can create really complex approval workflow just by creating a graphic diagram. What XEELO is basically a blank platform which you can configure just as you want. Okay, the last slide may be most interesting for some of you. How is XEELO licensed? For that, there are two types of XEELO users, requester and processor. Requester user, that's user that starts tasks by submitting new requests, and that user is always free. Second type of user is processor. Processor is a user who processes requests and approves and moves requests further. This type of user is paid. So, for example, if you have 10 employees and 10 employees are supposed to enter their timesheets in XEELO, they will be free. If you have, for example, their manager who has to approve it, this is processor, so that's one license. If further in the workflow there is, for example, manager of the manager who approves it, that would be the second license, and so on and so on. Okay, I want to thank you for listening, for your attention, and I would like to also invite you to the afternoon sessions where we'll be showing some details of this.
This time we will not be showing any details, Tomáš, but anyway.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you for the presentation.
Also, you can write us email if you want something particular for this tool.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to emphasize, that you know, when we did the workshop last time in March this year, we had the technical session which was ran in the afternoon, and we were showing more technical details about how all it works. So guys, if you are actually interested in workflow solution or CloudTrade or Trust Portal, we are happy to agree with you a time slot for an hour and walk you through all the technical details, how this tool works, how it is integrated with Blue Prism, and how it can help you to actually cover more with your digital workforce. So thank you, Tomáš, once again for the presentation about digital workflow tool. Again, it's not about XEELO only, that it's the only workflow tool. It's not true. We are just actually showing you some potential, how you can think about your digital workforce and how that digital workforce can be integrated in third-party tools so that your robots can actually do more. Not only backend processing, but also integrating or interacting with the users through integrating with workflow tools or Trust Portal or other such tools. Okay, so the next topic will be presented by me, and it's Blue Prism Decipher. Actually, Michael, consultant from Blue Prism Germany, was talking about Blue Prism Decipher, and he was revealing also the roadmap, what's ahead of us. I would step back a bit, and actually I would talk about what is available now. So what is Blue Prism Decipher? The Blue Prism Decipher is a data extraction tool which quickly extracts and structures data from documents at no extra costs. You probably know that at this moment Blue Prism kind of OCR capability is limited, and with Blue Prism Decipher, Blue Prism addresses this challenge and provides us Blue Prism clients tool for this business challenge. So it addresses the topic where you need to extract data from scanned images or semi-structured documents. And you know, if you want to avoid manual data mining, which is inefficient, and the biggest challenge is it is difficult to scale. So if you have really avalanche of documents, you need to extract the data. It's very difficult to scale. And what can be also the barrier why you wouldn't enter this this area is that the license cost for intelligent document processing software can be a significant value. So you are actually avoiding that area. And all those barriers or those challenges can be actually addressed with Blue Prism Decipher, which is a fully functional intelligent document processing solution. And very important information is that it will be for free. There will be no additional cost to Blue Prism clients, and it will be directly downloadable from Blue Prism Digital Exchange. So I believe that the offering is compelling, and you can start thinking of how or what you can actually do now when you have Blue Prism Decipher in your hands. The original plan, of course, the question comes, so when we can get it, because Blue Prism presented Blue Prism Decipher a year ago at Blue Prism World Conference, and it's still not available to the client base. NEOOPS was selected as one of few partners who could actually get access to prep beta version, and we participated in the testing. We raised several issues which we found. So if you are interested in seeing Blue Prism Decipher, we are happy to present it, to show you what's currently available, so that you can already think about what or where it can be used. So why should you use actually Decipher? Because as I was saying, it offers full-scale intelligent document processing, and that's backed up with machine learning engine, as Michael was mentioning. So that machine learning engine is really a feature which is very useful, and I played with that, and I am really impressed with the results. Blue Prism Decipher also can help you to start new data-based initiatives. So extraction of data from scanned sources can significantly increase the scope of processes suitable for automation. So that's what I was referring to. You know, you can already think where you can actually deploy your robotic workforce. So these are the areas which were before not able to be covered by your digital workforce, or you had to use some third-party tool. Now you have everything in one box. Of course, it increases the processing speed for currently manual process, which handled scanned documents. And as I mentioned, and I may have mentioned it many times, there is no additional cost for Blue Prism clients. As a part of Blue Prism Decipher, you can imagine that the OCR engines are never 100% precise, and there are definitely some mistakes. So Blue Prism Decipher also provides a human-in-the-loop verification for extractions where the confidence level doesn't reach the required values. And let's just talk about how it is going to work with your robots. So Decipher as a software package, it runs separately or standalone from your robots. It doesn't run on your runtime resources. So you would need some separate virtual machine or hardware box where you run Blue Prism Decipher. And how you fetch the documents into Blue Prism Decipher, you just push them with a Blue Prism process, the one which you see on the screen and which is actually delivered from Blue Prism. Or you can develop your customized code, because Blue Prism Decipher is kind of almost REST API, not truly, but you can actually create your own client which will talk to Blue Prism Decipher. What you see on the screen, this is not so nice screen which Michael presented, but this is current reality, how it looks like. So Decipher has got a web interface, which is probably probably a surprise for everybody who worked with Blue Prism so far. And this web interface enables users to interact with any from anywhere. Okay, so it's not restricted to just Blue Prism runtime resources, because there is no relation. So users can go to data verification module, which is here, and fix whatever is incorrectly recognized or extracted. So they can either type it or they can either click on the picture. So what you see here is the picture, which is the scan input, and what you see here is the data extracted into the fields. And what you see here on the left side, this is the batch which contains multiple documents. What I really like about Blue Prism Decipher is the machine learning algorithm, which is running and which learns continuously from user actions. So whenever you click on the screen saying this is the date, the machine learning algorithm actually takes this activity, records it, and learns from it for the next time. So the more documents you send through Blue Prism Decipher, the better results you can expect, the more precise results you will get. And when the users are actually finished with the correcting mistakes or just verification that all the data were correctly extracted, they can hit the submit button. And after hitting the submit button, the data, extracted data, which you see here, can be uploaded into Blue Prism Queue, and then everybody knows what you can do with Blue Prism Queue item. You have all the data you need, and you can process the documents as you are used to. So this is very short description of Blue Prism Decipher. And as I said, we are happy to show you that live through some presentation where you can actually ask questions, and we can go into much more detail. And because I see that there are some questions being raised, and I hope we have some time. So there is a question: what is the difference between Blue Prism Decipher and CloudTrade? Yeah, that's a very good question, actually. These products are actually kind of similar, competing at the same area. But what is the big advantage of CloudTrade solution? That if you have the digital document, the digital PDF, which doesn't have to be OCR, then in CloudTrade, such a document can be trained in 20 minutes with mapping the rules, and you are guaranteed with 100% accuracy. Whereas even if you provide Blue Prism Decipher a digital document, I believe that it will be converted into a picture and then OCR'd back. So you know, it's not guaranteed that it will extract the data 100% accurate.
Zdeněk, let me interrupt you in this area. If you talk about generated documents, then also if you convert that to image and then recognize back, the quality of recognition will be in most situation 99.99%. So it's not a big difference. So you can avoid OCR, that's definitely advantage, but in terms of recognition rates, that's nearly about the same.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, so then I would say that if you need to extract data from invoices, you need to run a certain number of documents through Blue Prism Decipher, so that the machine learning algorithm has got sufficient volume to learn what you want to extract. Whereas in CloudTrade approach, you just define the rules and that's it. So even getting one invoice, which should be the most complicated, you can get the results probably a little bit more quicker. Okay, so that would be about Blue Prism Decipher. And the last presentation before we go to Academy topic is Blue Prism Ecosystem, and the topic is RPA Supervisor, which is the automated controller. We can call it also automated controller. So what is providing RPA Supervisor? It's providing actually intuitive interface for managing and scheduling your RPA processes. You enter the RPA processes individual SLA requirements, and the scheduling is handled by the RPA Supervisor. So again, let me talk about what challenges you may have or your RPA team may have in day-to-day operation. So everybody who's working with RPA knows that sometimes the robot stopped working when you were not there, you know, that your process is terminated when the target system was not responding or available. And you would like to have your robotic workforce working 24 hours, 7 days a week without worries, but usually when you do not expect it, something may go wrong. So you know, getting waken up in the midnight or early morning that the robot can't process something is not something what you prefer actually. Another thing, everybody wants to increase the robot's utilization, meaning that sometimes your robots are just idling, waiting for some items to be processed. So if you answer one or some of those questions like yes, I am looking for a solution which can address this areas, then RPA Supervisor is definitely the tool which can help you. So the scheduling, the RPA Supervisor actually runs in web. It's a we can call it like a web control room, Blue Prism control room running in the web, but with more features where you don't actually say whether the process should run every 5 minutes, every day. You just enter the SLAs of the process, which is more natural because usually the business comes saying, okay, we want to ensure that if an item comes for a robot, that item is processed within 24 hours, within an hour, or within 15 minutes. And this can be very easily defined with the RPA Supervisor. So you just enter what will be the working hours of the robot, whether it should be 24 hours every day or something else. What should be the response time, meaning when the robot should start the latest, and what is the trigger, whether the pending item in a Blue Prism queue or some time interval or a file appearing in a folder or some manual request. So there are really wide variety of options how you can define your SLAs. And then in RPA Supervisor, it actually automatically does the prioritization and optimization so that your robots are utilized to the best. It stops lower priority work when the higher priority work becomes available. So that's very important that it can recognize that, okay, I deployed, for example, 18 workers for the loans, but now I need to manage the deadline for this one. So RPA Supervisor dynamically assigns more workers, take them from this process and assign them to this process. And it's all done dynamically based on internal algorithm, which actually evaluates what needs to be processed the first, so that to meet the deadlines and SLAs. To be able to do that, of course, it monitors all incoming work and all available resources. So you have overview of the content of all of your queues and resources, and based on that, it actually evaluates what needs to be done as the first item. Another very handy or very useful feature of RPA Supervisor is monitoring and reporting. You can see that the variety of the charts and information which you can capture in RPA Supervisor is really very wide. You know, there are live dashboards which provides real-time information to the users what's going on in RPA environment. There are advanced notification functionalities that allows users to subscribe to notifications, like the process terminated. You know, you will be notified via email, or the process is hanging. So the process stays at one stage for too long. So that is also event which can be notified to process controllers. Of course, you know, you see immediately what is the value which you provided with your robotic workforce back to the business. So you can very easily calculate the value which you are bringing to the business, and it's real time. How it all works. What you see in green is actually the RPA Supervisor. So and what is in black and white is original Blue Prism infrastructure. So there is your Blue Prism infrastructure, and there is coming supervisor part, which is a Blue Prism environment integrator, which actually logs to Blue Prism database and talks to Blue Prism application server. And it monitors all the changes to Blue Prism database and starts and stops processes through command line. And as I said, there is an optimization engine which decides what should be run now and what can be postponed for later processing. And the installation of RPA Supervisor can be delivered on-premise or as a cloud solution. And the implementation actually can be done within 2 weeks. So it's very quick. So when I should summarize what can RPA Supervisor can bring to you as a client is you can get more efficient, responsive, flexible, and stable digital workforce. Your processes are definitely more stable, even though if you design them badly, this will not help you to make it like super stable. You know, the process should be designed following Blue Prism best practice. This tool actually provides the business users access to operational information, and that's something what we have been missing in Blue Prism, because the control room, the installation of Blue Prism software on every business user desktop is not something what someone would like to do. So this through this web interface, the business users can see very easily what is the status of their processes. Of course, as I said, the definition of your processes SLA is very simple, very easy, and more closer to what the business expects or what business can ask from you as RPA team. And all items will be prioritized and processed as and when they are available to the robot. So dynamic prioritization, dynamic resource assignment, that's the strength of RPA Supervisor. And resources with the problems will be automatically fixed if it is possible, or put on hold to minimize effects on operations. So again, that would be all. Thank you for your attention, and we are coming to the last topic. But before we go there, I would ask you to actually do some voting for us, or just sharing your interest, your area of interest. So what you can see on your screen is a question about what of the presented areas of interest you would like to know more about. So if I can ask you just to click what you are interested in, what topics you would like to hear more, so that we can follow up with you and present you probably the solution or the topic in more detail, so that we could get some feedback on the topics which we presented today. So I'll give you another 10-15 seconds just to vote. And you can select multiple topics. Of course, you can check multiple checkboxes so that we have better understanding of your interests. Okay, so thank you for voting. Or maybe there are still some votes coming. Okay, so I would stop the voting and I would share the results. So what you can see is that document data extraction is definitely the topic which is of high interest. Then human-robot collaboration, and then automated control room. After that follows the workflow solution, and then Blue Prism cloud solution. Thank you very much, everybody who voted. And now I would give the stage to Jan, who will be talking about NEOOPS RPA Academy.
Okay, thank you, Zdeněk. Could you just please put the relevant slide there?
Yep. Oh, sorry, I need to hide the poll results. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Hello again, everybody. Jan Rapala speaking. As you might know, NEOOPS is also authorized Blue Prism training partner, and we do provide a range of RPA trainings. Some are technical trainings related to core Blue Prism product. Some are, I would say, non-technical or soft skills training. For example, business analyst training, RPA manager training, and yeah. And all of these trainings, which are listed on the slides, are either open trainings, which are open to public, which are conducted on fixed dates, on monthly basis. So anybody can enroll based on his or her availability. But we can also provide these trainings for particular organization on request and agree on the date. If we go on the next slide.
Yep.
In the past, we have conducted these trainings as classroom-based training, but since March, we started delivering this training also as virtual classroom trainings. And it actually become very popular these days when there are traveling restrictions. So how it works? From the content perspective, these are same as classroom trainings. The differences are that you are connected to the training environment through the web application, for instance, via Zoom or Microsoft Teams. And training is provided by our live instructor, who is presented the whole time during the training. So presenting, giving tasks, controlling the task, asking, answering the questions. And also in case of Blue Prism technical trainings, you will have an access to Blue Prism software, and all the times and you work directly with Blue Prism software. So we also keep you access to Blue Prism several weeks after training is finished, so you can further practice your new skills. So basically, these virtual trainings really mirror these physical classroom trainings, only they are provided virtually. And on the next slide, if you would be interested in some of our trainings, so you can either enroll to those open trainings, which you can see here, but also on our website, or contact us through info@neoops.com. But you can also contact us directly, and if your team will be interested in some Tyler-based training, so we can always agree on agenda and date and time. Yeah, so that's more or less about our trainings. And I will give word back to Zdeněk.
Okay, thank you, Anne, for short description of NEOOPS RPA Academy. And as you can see, we managed to stick to the agenda at the end, even though there were some longer presentation at the beginning. So now it's time for Q&A session. So guys, now you can actually ask whatever question you may have, and I can actually unmute all. So if you want to ask some question, you can unmute yourself and raise your voice and ask any question you may have, and you were holding back to ask because of the tight time schedule.
Hi, Andreas speaking. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
I have a question regarding the Trust Portal. Can it also be integrated with, let's say, Jira?
Well, what would be the purpose of that integration with Jira? You know,
because we will need to establish Jira as our support portal towards our internal customers. And I was, if we can integrate it with Jira, then it, or just use Jira as the Trust Portal, if that would be possible, to aid also the.
Well, the thing is that you can, if I understand correctly, then you have Jira as your internal tool. For Jira is usually used for bug reports or enhancement requests or ticketing as a ticketing system. So the thing is that you can expose Jira to your clients and put Blue Prism in the background, or you can use Trust Portal as well if you want to expose something to public. And then on the background from Trust Portal, the information would flow to Blue Prism, and Blue Prism would actually create a ticket in Jira.
Understood. Yep. Thank you.
Anybody else brave enough to ask a question, or everything was so crystal clear that you know, you don't need you don't have any questions? So if not, then I thank you everybody who attended today's session. And as I said, guys, if you are interested in more technical details for each and every product which we presented today, just let us know. We will be doing follow-up with you anyway after this workshop, and we will be offering more detailed sessions where we will cover the technical aspects of each and every solution you may be interested in. So Once again, thank you very much for attending today's workshop, and I wish you a great day.